Just like the sunrise needs the sky, just like the blackbird needs to fly, I gotta have you by my side, 'cause you make me feel alright.
Hello one and all, and welcome along to 5 Half-Time 10 The Winner. This is your football podcast relating anything really at all to do with the world of football. I'm Jamie McLean, and I'm joined as always by the one and only living legend. It's Dave Fennick. You alright there, Dave?
All right, Jamie, how are you doing, mate?
I'm marvellous, mate. How are you?
Good. That's quite an introduction for us here. I don't think I've ever been called that.
No, I thought I'd be nice to you
That's
for a
very
change,
nice.
you know.
Very nice,
Yeah, no, you're quite welcome, mate. You're quite welcome.
on.
So, yeah, here we are again, Dave, after doing nothing for nearly a year. This is twice in the space of just over a week that we've recorded.
Yeah.
So,
We're going
I
to try
mean,
and keep this one a bit shorter, aren't we? Because
yeah.
last week's episode went on for about, 6 hours? 12?
I think it was at 13 hours 12, the last I was counting, yeah. No, it was quite a long one, but it was good. It was a return episode, just as a one-off special bumper edition. I don't think there was anything wrong with that.
No, Jeff Lynch said, though, it was too long.
Yes, he did, but like I say, it was only the one-off.
Yeah, I've took the positives out of that, though, because he said we could have made it into 4 episodes. So obviously he wants to hear more of us.
Well, exactly. So, let's acquiesce to that request and let's give him more of us, eh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, speaking of Jeff, we've been talking quite a lot to Jeff this week, haven't we, Dave? And Ian Myers as well. So, hello there, boys. We're going to go through a little bit of activity in the WhatsApp group in a short while.
Yeah. Now, mate from Cornwall.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, well, that's fine. We'll start off on Twitter. Scott Goodchild got in touch saying thank you for the mention on the last episode and how he enjoyed the bumper return. So thank you for that, Scott. It's always nice to know that people are hearing us, isn't it?
I wonder if he listens to it. I've got the picture of him in Cornwall, sort of on his surfboard, sort of riding the waves, and listen to it while he's doing that.
Okay, that does. Yeah, so you're Facebook stalking, are you? Our listeners. So there you go.
I just thought with him living in Cornwall.
Just an extra service we provide.
What it brings to me.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. I've always wanted to try surfing. Actually, I've never actually tried it. I can snowboard to a degree, but I've never tried surfing. It's not something I've ever done. I would love to give it a go.
Picture of you on a surfboard.
Can you imagine? There'd be bits flapping about everywhere.
Well, with your burger and chips in one hand, your can of Stella in the other. It just doesn't.
A lit barbecue on the end of it.
But you give it a go, mate. If you want.
Yeah, all right. If I ever do it, I'll make sure to video it just for your entertainment, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare. Saying that, you should say, is when I've tried snowboarding, man. Like I say, I can do it to a very, very basic level, but oh God, I always end up falling, hour and hour again. So yeah, all the way down the hill. It never works, especially when I try getting on the lifts. I'll try getting on those snowboard lifts and I usually get about a quarter of the way up and then fall off them. And
down the hill, are you doing like snowboarding on grass?
The piste then, just up at Silksworth, mate, yeah. I've been doing it on cloth, yeah.
Yeah, I would call, if you're going snowboarding, I would
slopes.
call it, I don't know the terminology because I couldn't ski or anything, but is it not called slopes?
It might well be. Like I say, it's just something I've enjoyed getting the boots on, getting on the snowboard, and imagining I'm, some absolute legend at it. But I'm not.
See me, right? I couldn't. By the time I'd got all the salopettes and stuff like that and boots on, I couldn't be bothered. I'd just go into a bar on the hill. I just couldn't be bothered with it all.
Well, that's another good
thing.
thing.
To sort out.
Yeah, I mean that's another good thing about the snowboarding is all the the bars that are at the top, the Van Show and stuff like that. Absolutely. I mean, speaking of alcohol, we've had some feedback on our top fives from the last episode as well, haven't we? We have, yeah. Well, in the WhatsApp chat, Jeff's been kind enough to get in touch, and he's been drinking a bit of Sevilla Orange Tanqueray gin, which
His
is
nickname's Jameson Jeff.
Jameson Jeff, yeah. Well, there was a bottle of Jameson's next to this gin, so it does sound like he's got quite a good taste in booze, mind.
Yeah, because his name begins with a J as well, not a J.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
So it's Jameson Jeff.
Jameson Jeff rather than
Should we
Gin
call him
Jeff.
that from now on?
I quite like Gin Jeff as well, though. Gin's not a very good nickname on its own, I suppose, but yeah.
No, Jameson Jeff.
Jameson Jeff. There you go. Well, welcome to the show, Jameson Jeff. So yeah, no, it's been quite good. Like I say, we've had a bit chat in the WhatsApp group about like I say, the gins, the whiskies. Paprika Pringles was put forward as well as another contender for the top 5 crisps. And Pringles, oh, I say I like Pringles. It never even entered my mind.
Pringles,
yeah,
but not paprika.
Oh no, so yeah, my wife absolutely adores it. It goes on absolutely everything that we have. Yeah. Honestly, roast dinner, the roast potatoes are done with paprika on them as well. It's quite nice actually. I don't mind it.
Mm-hmm. Cornflakes?
I've never tried that. Have you tried the Nesquik on cornflakes yet though?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. Oh,
but I will do.
So yeah, and it looks like you've enjoyed a couple of nice roast dinners as well. Since we were last on, you shared a few pictures of that. So is that lamb? Yeah. Was that lamb? That I'm looking at there. A nice big roast potato, and it looks like a couple of lamb cutlets as well, or something like that.
Lamb steaks. Yeah,
lamb steaks.
Like no, lamb chops, not steaks.
Right.
Lamb chops.
Okay.
Yeah, like a lamb chop,
Yeah.
But,
I love a bit of lamb. So what else was going on in the group there? Ian shared a picture of his beautifully mown front lawn by the looks of things, mown like Wembley.
But a drain right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of it, yeah. Well, I really do sympathise with him there, because we're in the process, if you don't mind me gardening watch for a minute, we're in the process of cutting some borders in the front lawn and moving that grass out to what was a dry patch out the back. And I've got all the tarpaulin up, all the plants have been dug up and transplanted, doing really well, and there's a manhole cover right in the middle of it. So
why,
it's a bit of a wound.
Why is the reason, or am I being daft to put manhole covers right in the middle of lawns?
I don't know. I really don't know why that is.
Somebody message us.
Yeah, if anyone works in that sort of field and wants to let us know, that would be good. That would be great to know, actually, because it's a beautiful front lawn. I was going to say front garden there. That sounds a bit wrong. It was a beautiful front lawn, though.
See, really, if you'd been on your game when you started talking about gardening, you could have had some background noise like lawnmowers or like birds tweeting and all that. So hopefully when you edit it, you can sort it out.
I might just do that. You never know. That's a good idea.
Right. Okay.
So like I said, there's been a nice bit of chat there in the WhatsApp group. And also, I shared a picture last night, Dave. I've got an early birthday present that I've been playing with.
What?
So, yeah.
I never saw it,
I think you asked if the picture was Kello.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, so what that actually is, I've got myself, my wife's bought me a projector for my birthday, and I managed to convince her that we needed to open it and see if it's working, in plenty of time. It's a week today, on the 8th, VE Day.
Okay.
And, so I've got that out, and, me and my daughter were watching Sonic the Hedgehog on it, which was lovely.
Right.
So very happy.
Is it the old days of the projector where you have to put a bed sheet up against the wall?
Well, what I was doing last night was just projecting straight onto the wall, because we've got it's a creamy coloured wall. It's not ideal, but I didn't have a screen. But I've actually, my wife's just bought a white blackout blind for the window, which I'm going to put up after we've finished recording. So we'll see how that goes, because that might serve two purposes. You never know.
Okay. Why don't you email some schools and offer that there's bound to be a projector kicking about? It's not getting you. Sorry, the screen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, possibly.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, that, actually. Yeah, I could do. I might just go and get a whiteboard from work. Just a whiteboard on a tripod.
I thought you were going to say, I might just break into a school.
Oh, yeah, I might just go and break in and nick stuff. Yeah, why not? Yeah, looting forever, man. So, so there we go. That's just a little update on what's been going on. It's just weird, like I say, being back recording again so quick.
It's good, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. So with that in mind, though, with the projector in mind, like I say, I was watching a nice film with a little girl, with my little girl, I should say, not just some random little girl. That sounded a bit wrong. So I was wondering, Dave, how you fancy discussing some of your favourite football films on this episode?
Well, I'm no film buff, so you'll have to lead the way on this. But,
right.
I've seen some football films, but
well, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening.
You've got the music in for a break, haven't you, this week?
I do. Yeah. Do you want that now?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Let's go for that then. All right, there you go. Did you enjoy that, Dave?
Beautifully done. Was there a bit of a delay?
Yeah, I played the music and I'd forgotten to turn the slider up, so there was just no volume. That's
yeah.
I mean, it obviously won't make it into the main episode. When I initially called you up to start this episode, you couldn't hear me, and I was tearing my hair out trying to work out why. I hadn't plugged the microphone in either.
Right.
So
well,
it's not been my day. It's been a long day today, so we'll. I'm going to claim a pass for that one. But, I mean, football films, there's been some absolute corkers over the years, though, hasn't there? I mean, I know you said you're not a film buff, but you must have seen some of them, like Fever Pitch. Have you seen that one?
No.
You haven't seen Fever Pitch? That was a cracking film, that was, yeah.
Who was in that then? Look, I know 4 actors. Adam Sandler, Michael Caine, Will Smith, and Brenda Blethyn.
I knew you were going to say Brenda Blethyn there. I just knew Brenda Blethyn was getting in. No, Colin Firth was in that. Right. He's like a school teacher. He's an Arsenal supporter, and it's a very good film. I've read the book as well. The book, I think the book's a bit better than the film was, to be fair. But if you haven't seen that, I'm not going to bang on about that one too much.
No.
Why don't you tell me of one that you have seen, and we'll see if I've seen it.
One of the films I've seen, a football film, Gregory's Girl.
Right, no, I've not seen that one.
This is going well, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? It's all right. What we'll do, I think maybe if we just discuss an approach, and I'll put another break stinger in, and I'll just cut the middle bit out.
I think it sounds good. Do you like this?
Right.
People like it when you haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
Gregory's
no
Girl,
bother. So Gregory's Girl. Tell me about Gregory's Girl.
Gregory's Girl was like, I think she was the first girl to ever play football, and I tell you who was in it. A girl who I used to fancy when I was a young lad. Claire Grogan, out of Altered Images.
Oh, Claire Grogan, yes, I like Claire Grogan.
She wasn't Gregory's Girl, though. That was some other girl who played that. I don't know who played that.
Right.
But Claire Grogan, I used to like her, mate.
Yeah, she was. I know
She's
her
the one
from.
That sang, happy birthday. That one.
Right.
Was
Claire Grogan's the lady? I'm sure it was. She was in Red Dwarf, I think, wasn't she? She played the early version of Christine Kochanski, I think.
Because it's that sci-fi, because I hate that as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Red Dwarf's amazing. It is brilliant.
No, I hate anything. Is it sci-fi?
It's a comedy set in space, yeah.
Right, can I just tell you, I've never watched anything sci-fi. I used to hate Doctor Who as a kid. Man. I've never watched one box set of anything, right?
Right.
And I haven't watched one episode of Friends. So that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I think you've told me about this. I think way back when we were sort of discussing, was it like football TV shows or something like that, way back in the early days. I'm sure you said then that you'd never seen Friends, and I'd forgotten that somehow. I can't quite get my head around that. Anyway, I've seen
Gregory's Girl, though, and that was quite entertaining.
Have you watched any of the Goal films?
No.
Santiago Munez, playing for Newcastle, mind.
I'm sure people have, though. So you
I mean, it's a long time since I've seen it. I know there was a series of these films, and it was like every film was just like the next level of his career. You know, I'm sure he ended up at Real Madrid in some of the later ones and stuff like that. And that one, like I say, I've seen that. It's like 2005, I think it came out. And yeah, that's a really good film. I'm just trying to think of anyone famous who was in that one.
See, me, right, I wouldn't recognise an actor if they knocked on my door and said, hello, I'm an actor. Right?
Right.
I like films. I don't mind a Western film, but my sort of concentration, I need sort of one person's head to be tattooed with goody on and the other one baddie. I don't like anything too complex, you know.
Right, okay. Oh, see, I like a nice twist in a film, I've got to admit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm just trying to, I'm racking my brains here, trying to think who was in it. I know Kuno Becker played Santiago Munez. Stephen Delane was in there. Anna Friel. You'll have heard of Anna Friel.
Oh, Anna Friel, Brookside.
Yeah, from Brookside. Yep, Beth Jordache in Brookside.
I'll tell you a story about Anna Friel.
Right. I'm always up for an Anna Friel story, mind.
We'd been to London for the weekend. I think Sunderland were playing down at Arsenal or something like that, right?
Right.
My mate who lived down there at the time, we were walking across, I think it was Westminster Bridge, like daft a clock, and Anna Friel was walking past us the other way.
Right.
Right? So my mate lay down on the floor, says, "Anna, will you marry me?"
Right, okay. And
you
what
know
did
what
she
happened?
say? What?
She just walked on and totally ignored us.
Ah, that's a bit of a
Ah.
wounder, isn't it?
I know.
That's a rejection and a half.
Totally, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. Anna Friel's very, very good. She's in there. I think Sean Pertwee was in that film as well. A
Wurzel
former
Gummidge?
Doctor Who. Yeah, yeah. Yes, also known as Wurzel Gummidge, yeah.
No,
I'm thinking
that was his dad.
John Pertwee. Yes, of course it was. Yeah, Sean Pertwee's the son,
See,
isn't he? He's in Gotham.
You should know all these things.
Yeah, no,
You're
I
the
knew who
tiny
it was.
film buff.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking Pertwee, and we've just been talking about Doctor Who. I'm very sorry about that.
Right,
Yes, it's
right.
Sean Pertwee's the son. Yeah. So,
But don't you think, getting back to football films, they're all crap?
yeah, there's some that's best of a bad bunch. I mean, you get the odd classic, obviously. You know, Bend It Like Beckham. Sorry, I've tried to do that with a straight face.
I haven't seen it all, but I think it's rubbish as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's got Keira Knightley in it. I do quite like Keira Knightley, but I mean, this
Is
was a
that
long time
fella
ago.
or a girl?
Keira Knightley's a girl. Don't
Alright,
tell me you don't know who Keira Knightley is. I'm
No,
sure
I
you're
don't.
winding me up like. Yeah,
I'm not.
absolutely are.
Really?
Have you never seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
I give up, you know. I absolutely give up. I'm not going to.
I think you know, there's better, not football films, but when there's been football parts in films.
Right.
Football, like bits of football games in films. Like, was the Kes? Have you seen Kes, the film?
I actually don't think I have, no, but I'm sure you've told me all about that before somehow. I don't know why.
Kes, I think he has a Kestrel and his brother kills it and that.
Right.
But there's a good football bit where he's at school and the PE teacher pretends to be Bobby Charlton and that. That's a good bit.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like when football features in films, that's always good as well. I mean, when I was saying about the classics, obviously
I like
was.
Midsummer Murders, like.
Sorry.
I like Midsummer Murders.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I know another actor, John Nettles.
John Nettles. Yeah, I knew where you were going with that as well. Yeah.
It's a brilliant second name, Nettles, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I always thought that was a bit of a weird name. Yeah. I don't
John
know.
Nettles. There's not many Nettles around it. Like
Not
surnames,
people.
is there?
No. I was going to say we've got plenty of nettles in our back garden,
So I
but
like-
no, not.
I like Midsummer Murders. What else do I like? I like. Don't mind a bit of Country File. I like Antiques Roadshow, and what else do I like? I like sort of nature programs and things like that.
Do you like
things
David
like that.
Attenborough and people like that?
Stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's also his birthday next Friday.
Oh, nice one.
There you go. I share a birthday
You
with
led
him.
us into that, didn't you?
Yes, I absolutely did. Yeah, no, just when you said that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, when I was referring to the classics, though, I did actually mean Escape to Victory. You know, I mean, that's a good film.
Is that a football film or just a film with a bit of football in it?
Well, Pele's in it. It's all about the sports around the war, isn't it?
Kelly, and it's Bobby Moore in it as well.
I think he is. Yeah, I don't know that he was actually one of the top billed ones, but I'm
Escape
sure.
to Victory. I'm sure I haven't seen it all the way through, but you know, like Christmas holidays and that, I've seen it now. Like it's been
bits
on,
of it.
and I've seen bits of it.
Yeah. I'm a bit like that with Sister Act. You know, I've never ever seen that from beginning to end. I've seen the whole film, but in like about 28 different viewings.
I've never seen that neither.
No.
Well, I'll tell you which football film I have seen.
Right.
The Captain's Tale. I'm sure it's about when West Auckland won the first World Cup.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Dennis Waterman was in it.
Dennis Waterman. Yeah, Nigel Hawthorne. Was he in that as well?
If Nigel Hawthorne, I wouldn't recognise him at all.
Right,
But
I'm
I know
sure
Dennis
Nigel Hawthorne
Waterman's in
and
it.
Tim Healy as well. I think one of the more local lads. I'm sure he was in that as well.
I'm sure it was about West Auckland winning the World Cup.
Yeah, the Sir Thomas Lipton Trophy, if I remember rightly. Yeah. Yes, no, I mean, there you go. Yeah, because I always forget about that. They were technically the first ever world champions, weren't they? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was, again, it's a film I've watched a long, long time ago. I think it was Tyne Tees made that film, wasn't it? It was made for Tyne Tees, I think, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, I think Tyne Tees were involved somehow. I've just got that in my head. I'm not sure. I might have got that wrong.
I remember Porridge, the film and all. I think they played a football game, and
did
Ronnie
he?
Barker, the escape, but then he wanted to get back in or something like that.
Right,
Football
okay.
game, they got on the team that came to play the team in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He got on the bus or something like that.
Oh, I managed to get out with the visiting players, did he?
And they got out, but then he wanted to get back into prison.
Right.
So there's been a bit of football kicking around, but
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know whether anybody else has seen any good football films, because I think they're all crap. Like,
would you class Green Street Hooligans as a football film?
well, how can you have a fella who's about 5'1" go around braying everyone?
Yeah, I know that. I know. Elijah Wood you're referring to there, aren't you?
Well, I just saw this little fella.
Yeah, it's him who literally him who plays Bobo Baggins, I think, in the Lord of the Rings films. Yeah.
Don't talk to me about that. Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit, like, they just go on for days. I can't stand them films.
Do you know, I quite enjoyed the fired Lord of the Rings, and then I tried watching the second one, and it just felt like it was on for about a week.
Yeah.
So I just
And
never bothered.
Should you be glamorising football hooligans?
I don't know that. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I know what you mean. I wouldn't have said that was really glamorising it, 'cause it's quite brutal in places, that film.
Is it?
It is more. It's because obviously it's you follow the story of the American guy who's come over and he's getting into it. He's going to watch West Ham and all of that stuff, you know. So you see it from the perspective of someone who's new to that culture,
Right.
you know. So it is quite interesting, but yeah, I know what you mean. Why bring more attention to something like that?
And was it realistic?
I don't know about realistic so much. I've not really got a lot of experience in that scene, to be honest. But it's certainly sort of not beyond the realms. Like, I would imagine it was fairly realistic. So yeah, no, that was quite a good one, I would say. Green Street Hooligans.
Tell you a film I love that it's got nothing to do with football, like Get Carter.
Get Carter, yeah. Well, that's following on from Michael Caine, wasn't it, in Escape to Victory? So yeah. And did they not remake that? And he played the bad guy in the remake.
And it was garbage, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it was Sly Stallone played played the protagonist, and I'm sure Michael Caine played the character that he was enemies with in the original. I'm sure he did. It was something like that, anyway. So yeah, I mean, another good one, Dave. I don't know if you've seen it before. United, it was called. It's about 9 or 10 year old now. It was all about the Munich air disaster.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I bet that was quite emotional.
It's very, very emotional. It's David Tennant is actually in that. He plays the assistant manager, Jimmy Murphy, the guy who basically had to step up and manage them briefly while Matt Busby was... Well, I say briefly, it was for a little while, wasn't it, while Matt Busby was recovering. That air disaster in 1958. I think that the film's set over a couple of years, you know, and it sort of ends towards the aftermath of the air disaster. It was a really, really good film, and I don't think... I think the scene where they all find out about the crash is just really... It's quite a powerful scene. I'm trying to remember who played Matt Busby in that. Was it Dougray Scott? I know Dougray Scott was in it. Can't remember if he was Matt Busby or not. But it's a film obviously about, I'm not going to say the biggest because it's all subjective, but one of the biggest disasters in related to football, you know, of the last sort of few decades. It's obviously not the only one, but it's one of the biggest ones. And it was generally quite well captured. I seem to remember Matt Busby's family not being very happy with the portrayal of Matt Busby in it. But if you ever get a chance to see that was quite a good one.
Oh, I tell you what I have seen. Brian Clough, the Damned United.
Oh, that Damned United, yes. I've
about his 44 days in charge. At least.
Yeah, would you believe I've not seen that? I've heard it is excellent. And I love Brian Clough, but I've not seen that film.
We're different, aren't we, today? Well, we're not different. Well, we're different anyway, but...
we're literally two different people.
Our films... but our films, I've seen some.
Yeah, I know. I don't think there's been a single one we've mentioned that we've both seen yet, is there?
Not a football one, I don't think.
Shaolin Soccer?
No. What?
Have you seen Shaolin Soccer?
I thought you were just making something up.
No, Shaolin Soccer. It's about the Shaolin monks with the superhuman abilities and all that, and they start a football team, basically. That's quite a lot of fun, that one.
Is this a computer game?
No, that's a film.
All right.
Dave, I know talking about computer games would have been an even worse idea because you can't stand them, can you?
No.
So,
Don't like computer games.
so
no.
I'll give an honourable mention as well. Looking for Eric. Is that a film you've heard of or seen?
Have we moved on to spy things?
No, we haven't. It's about a football fan who's called Eric. His life's fallen apart, and then he meets the one and only greatest footballer that ever lived, Eric Cantona. And yeah,
that's a bold statement from your mind. The greatest footballer that's ever lived, Eric Cantona.
In my opinion, well, certainly my favourite footballer. Hey, that's another episode all on its own. That, but for me, Eric Cantona.
Right.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting to see
I grew
Ian
up at the right
Myers'
time.
take on this.
Right. Ian Myers, he's a Man United fan, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say, if that's if that's music to his ears, then all the better. But yeah, I just grew up at the right time, and for me, Eric Cantona, yeah, brilliant. I actually had a Man United shirt with Dieu number 7 on the back, just so I could wear Cantona's number on a Man United shirt, man.
And what was Dieu for?
Dieu is French for God. I might not be pronouncing it very well.
Right.
So yeah, no, I absolutely loved that man. Brilliant footballer. I think he played in a charity match a year or two ago, and I forget whether it was Soccer Aid or something like that. And I didn't even realise he was in the squad. It was only when the camera showed him warming up, I was like, right, I'm putting my phone down now and watching this.
Was he still a hero of yours when he climbed into the crowd at Crystal Palace and dealt with someone?
That didn't put me off. No, that did not put me off.
I think the lad got what he deserved, actually.
Well, yeah. I mean, from what you sort of hear and read, it certainly sounds like it. But I mean, yeah, Cantona, he's a professional. Shouldn't have done what he'd done. But yeah, by all accounts,
the lad's
it was.
Face, when you look at it, when Cantona climbs into the crowd, he's trying to get off. I wouldn't fancy Eric Cantona climbing in to give me a belt.
No, it was. He really got him right in the middle of the chest, didn't he? Whoa. It was. Yeah. No, I think that was. He just got. This is going to be really sad. You're going to be a little bit dismayed at this. I might be wrong. Maybe Ian can correct me, or any other Man United fans who got. I'm sure he was walking back to the tunnel, Cantona, because he got sent off after stamping. I'm going to say on Richard Shaw.
Right.
That's my memory of it. I might be totally wrong, but I'm sure it was Richard Shaw. I think it was who he stamped on, and he got sent off, and then that's what led to the Kung Fu incident.
You know what I remember a lot about that incident?
What's that?
A cup of coffee getting thrown, or a cup of Bovril or tea. I remember a little plastic cup, and like sort of getting chucked.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. That one's escaped me.
If you watch it again, you'll see a cup, a little plastic cup with tea or coffee getting thrown onto Cantona as he was climbing in.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I seem to remember people were hurling stuff at him as he was getting taken away as well. Yeah, that rings a bell now. But yeah, and obviously it gave us the immortal quote, when the seagulls follow the trawler. That's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Absolute.
I like that.
Yeah, no, it's very good. He's basically, I think, having a dig at the journalists as opposed to anything else. That was always my take on it. But
right.
Yeah, no, I thought... Yes, we've gone a little bit off the topic of football films there, but yeah, I think that might be a subject for the next episode, maybe. If you would like to hear that, obviously, let us know if it's something you would like to get involved in the discussion with. Hit us up.
Coffee cups getting thrown?
Coffee cups getting thrown and violence in football, yeah. If it's something you can do, no, not really. If you want to talk about players, then get involved and let us know, and we can maybe go through some messages and have a bit chat about that next time out, because I think that could be quite a nice one, that, because I suspect our opinions are going to be quite different on a lot of them as well.
Like they have been today.
Yeah, I know that I'm a little bit gutted that we haven't seen any of the same football films. I just can't quite believe that. It doesn't, but there's just a few. There's a lot more out there, obviously. I think I might have to go and watch a couple of the ones you've mentioned, so that, we can have a bit chat about that. But I think, Dave, that's about all we've got time for on this episode. We're keeping it a lot shorter than last time, don't worry, dear listener.
Just because Jeff the program controller told us.
Yeah, so Jeff's orders. Yeah, definitely on Jeff's orders.
Jameson Jeff.
Jameson Jeff drinking the gin. So absolutely. Thank you very much for obviously all the messages since the last episode as well. The feedback we have had has all been good, hasn't it, Dave? It's been nice to be back as well. And I know we're very much looking forward to keep bringing you some of our content. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult at the moment without the topical side of football going on at the minute. But, we like to do our best anyway, don't we?
It's sometimes nice to have just different things, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Just have a little break from it in a way. Yeah, definitely.
Like if we want to talk about, I don't know, like a guitar or a mirror or like some coasters.
I don't like talking about mirrors. I don't like what I see.
Or a bath towel or anything,
Yeah. I mean, hey, anything's fair game, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the next episode. Bath towels and mirrors. That's going to get people tuning in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you very much, like I say, for listening, and thank you for getting in touch since the last episode. You can continue to do so. We're on Twitter at WinnerPod. And of course, remember, you can always give us a call, leave us a voicemail, which, by the way, we didn't get any for this episode. I normally like playing the no new messages bit, but I forgot. So you can do that now. You can give us a ring. The number is 07778 189 and you can leave us a voicemail, or you can add us on WhatsApp as well, and we can add you into the group chat, and you can get involved, interact with some of the other listeners, interact with us a little bit if you would like to, and it'd be nice to just get to know people a little bit better. So yeah, I think that's everything, Dave, unless there's anything you have to add.
No, I'm fine. That's it.
Fine.
Adios. Take care.
All right, marvellous. Thank you very much. We'll see you again next time. Ta-da for now.